So in the last two videos, we learned 8 properties. So today we are going to do the ninth property, which is convolution property or theorem. This, according to the convolution property, it says that whenever there is a convolution of two signals in time domain that is equivalent to the multiplication of their spectra in frequency domain. This principle is called as time convolution theorem. So in mathematically we can say if x1 of t having Fourier transform is x1 of omega and x2 of t is having Fourier transform as x2 of omega, then their convolution, that is x1 star x2, that star symbol is for convolution, whose Fourier transform will become multiplication of their spectrum in frequency domain, that is x1 omega into x2 omega. So let us go to the proof of the given theorem. So the proof would be like this. First of all, what is the formula of the convolution? So here you can see clearly. This is the one second. This is the formula of a convolution of two signals. Remember, so x1 star x2 is equals to integration minus infinity to plus infinity x1 tau into x2 t minus tau t tau. This is the formula for convolution. When I take the Fourier transform in the left side, the LHS is x1 star x2, and taking the Fourier transform of x1 star x2, that means this is the given x of t. So whatever in the right side, we are going to substitute as the formula here. That is the right side is x of t. And normal formula is what? Integration. This is the integration, and this is the whatever is this. This is the pay. This is the x of t. Okay. Next is the exponential minus j omega t dt. So now after this, what we are going to do is we'll just interchange the order of integration. That is, one integration we are keeping outside and putting x1 tau as the outside, and the other integration we are keeping in this bracket where we kept x2 t minus tau e to the power minus j omega t dt, and the outside will keep it d tau. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll substitute t minus tau as p, hence t will be p plus tau and dt will be dp. Substituting all this in the above, what will happen? It will become integration x1 tau, and in place of x2 t minus tau will be p, and this exponential t also we are substituting p plus tau. Okay, so by writing dp and d tau, dt will become dp. Next, exponential, there are two terms, plus is there, means if you are writing e to the power x plus y, we can write e to the power x into e to the power y. The same thing is done here. We can write into two terms. One is e to the power minus j omega p, and the other one is e to the power minus j omega tau. E to the power j omega p we are keeping inside, the other one we are keeping outside. Now hence this becomes the formula of Fourier transform where the signal name is x2. So this would become capital X2 omega. And the remaining as it is we kept x1 tau and x e to the power minus j omega tau. Now what happens by taking this as out and the remaining if we write in the bracket, this is again the formula of a Fourier transform. But what is the signal now? The signal is x1. So hence it will become capital X1 omega. So that is what it is proved, that this is the multiplication of the spectra So that is x1 omega and x2 omega. So this theorem is called as convolution theorem, which is your property number 9. Now moving to the next property. The property is called as multiplication property. In the multiplication property or the theorem, it states that if there is a multiplication of two functions in time domain, it is equivalent to the convolution of their spectra in frequency domain. Okay, so this is called as frequency convolution theorem. This is also called as frequency convolution theorem. The previous one was time convolution theorem. Okay, so hence it is if a signal x1 is having a Fourier transform as x1 omega and x2 is having a Fourier transform of x2 omega, then their multiplication, that is x1t minus x2t, is having Fourier transform of 1 by 2 pi x1 omega star x2 omega. Star is the convolution operation. Now for the proof, we will start with writing the formula of Fourier transform. The formula of Fourier transform is f of x of t, which is equals to capital X of omega, which is integration of minus infinity to plus infinity x of t e to the power minus j omega t dt. In the next part, what we are going to do is we are doing the convolution operation. So writing this as, we can write this as that we also written the formula for inverse Fourier transform. So we also written the formula for inverse Fourier transform. So this one is the formula for, this is inverse Fourier. The earlier this previous page, that was the formula for Fourier transform. Now what we are going to do is we take the Fourier transform of LHS, which is x1 into x2. According to the formula, we'll put just in place of x of t, we'll put x1 into x2. Now what you're going to do is we're going to put x1 of t as the inverse Fourier transform formula. So here is the inverse Fourier transform formula above. If you put x1 of t here, if you put x1 of t, this will become small x1 of t. Okay, and the formula also will change it as x1 omega into d e to the power j omega t d omega. So instead of omega, what they have taken another variable called as lambda. So where they put it is 1 by 2 pi integration minus infinity to plus infinity x1 lambda e to the power j lambda t d lambda. Okay, so for convenience they put as lambda instead of omega. Next, remaining part is written as same as the above. Okay, now we'll interchange the integrations. So we'll interchange the integration. First we'll write 1 by 2 pi as it is, and then first this part we'll write it first, capital X1 omega, and the second whatever we'll write in the bracket as it is, and the end we are keeping d lambda. Okay, now there are two exponential terms where powers can be added. So that's what it is done here. Their powers are added. We kept it negative because in the actual formula it is negative. So that's why we kept it negative, x e to the power minus. Okay, so this is, what is the frequency it is having? The frequency is now, this is omega minus lambda. Instead of omega, it is, what is the frequency? Omega minus lambda. So this becomes capital X2 of omega minus lambda. Okay, so this has become the same. So what is this? What is this formula? According to this formula, this is the formula for convolution. So what we can write is x1 omega star x2 omega, since it is a formula of convolution. Hence this is the right hand side RHS. Okay, so hence we got it the LHS is equal to RHS according to the formula, that is this one. Hence it is the proof of the convolution, that is frequency convolution theorem. So the property called as frequency convolution theorem. Coming to the next property is the duality property. According to the duality property, it says that this is for system analysis. In system analysis, duality between time and frequency is executed. Duality property states that if a signal x of t is having a Fourier transform of x of omega, and according to the duality property, capital X of t, okay, we are just substituting in place of omega, we are substituting t. Then whose Fourier transform will become 2 pi into x of minus omega. That is small x. Small x means this one. So in place of t, what is being substituted? Minus omega. And 2 pi gets multiplied. So what is, how to prove this one from this duality property? The duality property can be proved by taking an inverse Fourier transform formula. This is the formula for what? Inverse Fourier transform. Okay. So if we take the formula for inverse Fourier transform, then in the next part, what we do is we just multiply 2 pi to the other side. Okay. So we are just multiplying 2 pi to the left hand side. Then what we have done is just substitute t as minus t. T we substituted as minus t, hence exponential positive will become non-exponential negative. Okay. Now interchanging t and omega. If you interchange t and omega, so that is t will write it as omega and omega will write it as t. So in that, this exponential function will not change because there are t also, omega also, both are there. The only thing is going to change is here, that is x of minus omega. So now what is this right hand side is the formula for Fourier transform. So we can write is f of, what is the signal? A capital X of t. So f of capital X of t is equals to, what is the left hand side? 2 pi into x of minus omega. So that's what we stated in the above duality property. X of t whose Fourier transform will become 2 pi into x of minus omega. So that is for, and you know that for a even function, x of minus omega is equal to x of omega. So that becomes 2 pi into x of omega. So that is a proof of duality property. Okay, so let's go to the next property. The next property is called as the modulation property. According to the modulation property, whenever a signal is being multiplied with a cos function, cos or sine, it is for both cos and sine. But in this case, we are taking only cos. Whenever x of t is being multiplied with cos omega c, this spectrum will get shifted up and down by a frequency of omega c. Okay, that spectrum will get shifted up and down by a frequency of omega c. So if according to this, if x of t is having a Fourier transform of x of omega, when x of t is multiplied with cos omega ct, that Fourier transform will be half of, one will be shifted down, which is x of omega minus omega c, and another frequency will be shifted up, that is x of omega minus omega c plus omega c. So that is the theorem called as modulation property. Okay. Now for the proof of this, let us start with the LHS. What is the LHS? LHS is x of t into cos omega ct. Okay, so you know that cos we can split. You know that cos theta is equals to e to the power j theta plus e to the power minus j theta. One second, theta by 2. So in this theta, what is there now? Omega ct, no? So it will become e to the power j omega ct plus e to the power minus j omega ct by 2. Hmm? Now this right hand side of this we can split into two terms. One would be x of t by 2 into x e to the power j omega t ct, and another will be e to the power minus j omega ct. So we have taken half is constant, so we have taken half outside. The remaining is Fourier transform of this one and to this one. Now according to the shifting property, do you remember whenever shifting property, the second property, time shifting property, whenever there is a multiplication of exponential function, their frequency is getting shifted, that is omega minus omega c whenever exponential sign is positive, and when it is negative this becomes omega plus omega c. So this is due to the shifting property which was there in the second property. You can go back to the property 2, that is first video, and learn that is shifting property. Hence it is proved the RHS, this is the RHS. Okay, so that is the proof of the property called as modulation property. Now similarly cos, you can prove it for sine also. Whenever sine is there, there is a factor 2j which is coming to the denominator, because what is sine theta? You know that sine theta is e to the power j theta minus e to the power minus j theta by 2j, and there is a minus sign also you will find, because of that it is because it is sine. Okay, so this property is called as the modulation property. Next is the next property is called as the conjugation property. According to the conjugation property, if a signal x of t is having Fourier transform of x of omega, then the conjugate of x of t, where Fourier transform will be x star conjugate of x of omega minus omega. Okay, so let us prove this by writing the formula of Fourier transform. X of omega is equal to whatever is the formula integration. Then we'll take the conjugation of that. When you take the conjugation, what happens? The whole the right hand side conjugation we have to take. Okay, in that part, whenever there is conjugation, this x of t becomes x star of t, but the exponential sign will, from negative it will turn to positive. Okay, so that is the conjugation part. Now by replacing omega by minus omega, what will replace? Minus omega. The left hand side becomes x star minus omega, and the right hand side becomes e to the power minus j omega. Hence this turns as the formula of Fourier transform, where in place of x of t, what is there? X star of t. So this is Fourier transform of x star of t. Hence this has been proved. This is the conjugation property. X star of t Fourier transform will be capital X of x star of minus omega. Okay, so that is the property called as conjugation property. Now this is called as autocorrelation property. According to the autocorrelation property, the Fourier transform of autocorrelation of time domain signal is equal to the square of the modulation of its spectra. Okay, so autocorrelation, when you take x of t whose Fourier transform is x of omega, this is the symbol for autocorrelation, that is r tau. Okay, R tau is a symbol for autocorrelation whose Fourier transform would be square of x omega. So let us do the proof for this. For that you need to know the formula for autocorrelation. This is the formula for autocorrelation. Integration minus infinity to plus infinity xt x star t minus tau dt. This is the formula for autocorrelation. Now we take the LHS is R tau. Okay. So we take the R tau's Fourier transform. That means the Fourier transform of the right hand side, this one. Hence it is kept as the signal as, and the remaining part is the formula. Now we'll interchange the integration, order of integration. We'll keep it this as separate x of t, and the remaining we kept in the bracket, which is having tau term, and the last one is dt. Now we'll put this t minus tau as p. Let us do the t minus tau as p, and then this becomes dt becomes then this becomes second integration, we have d tau is equal to dp, hence we can put it as this x, this outside remain x of t, the remaining will become p terms. Okay, and this one is substituted as t minus p. Okay, now we'll put it as there is two term in the exponential. We can split into two terms. As you know, e to the power x plus y is e to the power x into e to the power y. In the same way, they are splitted and we written separately. One is this and one is that. So then this both are the formula of Fourier transform. Okay. Now they both are the formula of Fourier transform. But here this sign is positive. Okay. So what we do is, since sign is positive, this whole we are writing in the bracket and putting the conjugate symbol in the above, so it becomes negative. So now this is the formula for Fourier transform, but it is so above there is a conjugate symbol is there. So this is x star omega. So you know that x omega into x star omega, whenever there is conjugate and complex function is being multiplied, that becomes mod x of omega square. So that is the proof for property called as autocorrelation property. The property Parseval's relation and the theorem or the property, this is also there in the Fourier series also, which now if a signal x1 is having Fourier transform x2 x1 omega and x2 is having x2 omega, then according to the Parseval theorem, that is states that integration of minus infinity to plus infinity x1 t x2 star t dt is equal to 1 by 2 pi integration of x1 omega into x2 star omega d omega, where the x1 and x2 are the complex signals, and according to the Parseval identity theorem, which states that energy of the content of signal x of t, that is having formula of this, that is equals to 1 by 2 pi integration of x1 omega mod square t omega. This is Parseval relation or theorem, and the second one is Parseval identity. Okay. So for the relation, Parseval's relation, first the proof is done by writing x1 t as the inverse Fourier transform formula. All right. And next we'll change the order of integration by keeping x1 omega as one part and the remaining as one part. So this has again the formula for by taking conjugate on the top, that is here, this is has turned the formula as Fourier transform. So this is written as x2 omega star. So that is the RHS part. So that is the proof for what? Parseval's relation or theorem. The second part is the Parseval identity, which states that energy content of the signal. So this has the proof for energy content. The energy content of this one can be written as, since x1 and x3 are, whenever a signal is given by, then energy of the signal can be calculated by the formula which is written here. Okay, hence from this above thing we can write this as given as this. Hence, like mod of x of t whole square will be x of t x star t, and this one will be x mod of x so omega square. Then this is proof that energy would be equal to this one. So Parseval identity is also called as energy theorem or Rayleigh theorem, and this x of omega square is called as energy density spectrum. So hence the Parseval's relation states that the energy or the power. Energy means it is not periodic, power means it is periodic. In the time domain representation is equal to the energy or power in the frequency domain representation. Okay, so that is the proof of the Parseval's identity. Okay, so energy time domain is equals to the energy in the frequency domain. So let's go to the last property. That is, last property is called as the, actually it is called as the area under the curve. So whenever there is a Fourier transform, if the spectrum is known to you, you can know the area under the function. So if area under the function x of t is equal to the its Fourier transform at omega is equal to 0, then if this is the Fourier transform x of t is x of omega, then the integration of the x of t dt would be 1 by 2 pi x of 0. That is the area under the curve x of t. Okay, area means counting, the integration means area. Integration means area. Minus infinity to infinity, if you're integrating a function, that means you're calculating the area, and that is equal to 1 by 2 pi. Its spectrums at omega equal to 0. Similarly, area under the Fourier transform, that was x of omega, that would become equal to the value of function x of t at t equal to 0. So reverse it is, by calculating the area, that is integrating x of omega d omega, which is equal to x of 0. So that is the area of the curve. So these are the all formulas where you can study, and these formulas we are going to use later for the various problems where we apply these formulas and do the solution of the problem.